You're listening to Midday Mobile with Sean Sullivan on FM Talk 106.5. Call Sean now at 343-0106.
Welcome back. Midday Mobile, FM Talk 106.5, live from the Mobile Boat Show. Glad to have y'all along, and always a treat. Really do enjoy it when I get to talk to Senator Jeff Sessions, and I have so many questions. Senator, thanks for your time today.
Good to be with you.
Let's do, I guess, talking about Bill Pryor kind of brings me into the world of from the judiciary to the executive branch here and the presidential race as we look at questions in Nevada and South Carolina. From where you sit right now, what do you see in this? Is this the lineup? Is this the race you expected a year ago?
Well, nobody, I think, predicted that things would develop as they have. I have predicted and urged my Republican colleagues to listen to the American people more clearly here. American people have lived under a lot of these trade laws, and it's not working for them, and it's not working for the American economy. We believe in trade. We're always going to participate in trade, and it's not going to be stopped. But we really need to be sure our trading agreements serve our people. And in addition, for 30 years, politicians have promised the American people they would fix immigration, they'd end the lawlessness. But it hasn't happened. It's been talk and no action. So I've said those are two issues that we should take to the American people. And I got to say, Trump's been the clearest about it, and he's gotten to the top.
That is for sure.
I think I've been validated in that. People are not happy, and they want some change out of Washington, and that's sort of what's bubbling out there. Other candidates are beginning to understand it, I think, and to respond better, and we'll just see how this all plays out.
I would like to see, when I hear somebody with talking points that I know because I've been listening to you a long time or yours, I just wish there was a little trademark symbol for Senator Jeff Sessions right by it, the Main Street message. This is trademarked. It's this man has been talking about it long before the rest of them. And you mentioned about trade, and just quickly here, because last time you were on the show with me, we were talking about TPP. And people know that it's, if we follow you and follow your questions about it, we're worried about it. But, back here in South Alabama, I don't know that we know all the pitfalls possible. Heck, for a long time, you couldn't know them because you couldn't take the document out of the room, could you? You had to go in there and read it and couldn't even.
What are we? Secret document. We voted to give the president the power to move this thing at his pace when he wants to. There can be no amendments, no filibuster, a simple majority, and that trade agreement, 5,400 pages, would become law, creating a Pacific Commission that has the danger of evolving into something like the European Commission that's causing so much turmoil there. We only have one vote on that commission. The Sultan of Brunei gets one vote, and the President of the United States gets one vote. We absolutely don't need to do that. This trade agreement does not need to become law, and I think the presidential candidates need to be clear about where they stand. And I've asked them all where they stand on this, because I think the American voters need to tell them, we're not voting for you if you're going to vote for this Trans-Pacific Partnership Commission.
And it's good to hear, because a lot of people worry, well, I don't know what's in the details, and maybe I'm not hearing everything here, but it seems to me we shouldn't have to, as the United States of America, capitulate to get into any trade deal. We are a massive market for foreign products, and we make really good products here that they want elsewhere in the world. It seems like the free market would take care of that.
Sean, these countries are very aggressive, particularly in the Pacific, mercantilist economies. They talk the game of free market, and they have a lot of that. But when it comes to trade, their goal is for their country to maximize exports and minimize imports, and to produce as much as they can, employing their people to produce products. And they're determined to access the American market. This is what they lust for. This is what they want. They want to be able to sell into our market with the minimum problems, but they don't want to open their markets. And they subsidize their businesses. They manipulate their currencies. So we've got the leverage. Governor Romney said this 8 years ago. He said they need they need us more than we need them. And so we can buy products from other places. We can make them at home. But we don't have to give somebody access to our market if they're blocking our products in their markets. If you got a second, I'll explain.
Yes.
I supported the Korean trade deal. South Korea is a good ally, a good country. President Obama signed it in 2011. He said it would increase our exports to South Korea by $11 billion a year. Well, the numbers come in really $1 or less than $1 billion a year. Their exports to us have increased $12 billion.
Wow.
Our trade deficit with South Korea has gone up 240%.
Holy cow.
Was that a good deal? I don't think so. That means we've lost a lot of jobs.
Well, this administration, whether it comes to a trade deal or a deal, and I don't like even using that word, with the Iranians on nukes or whatever deal we get into, whether it's a climate change agenda or what, it seems like we forget that we have leverage. We make bad deals coming from the executive branch every day.
You're right. We got huge leverage. They need our markets. And we need to say, okay, you can sell in our country, but you're going to open up yours. They don't even buy our chicken. We're constantly having blockades of products like chicken, and they want to sell us every computer and TV and automobile that they want to make. Look, we believe in trade, but we do not need this commission either, Sean. We do not need to have a living agreement commission that can change its own rules by a vote of the members. Congress and the people being left out to wonder what's happening to them. Bilateral, two nations agreeing to improve trade between those two nations that advances the interest of both parties is good, and I favor that. But I do not believe we need to be going down, diminishing our sovereignty, turning over our powers to some commission that doesn't share the American values and the constitutional principles that we operate on. It is a big mistake. And I think the presidential candidates need to be clear about it.
Well, and that's why I was wondering if you could help delineate that. I mean, you've talked about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump really talking a message that you've been talking for a long time. Anybody else out there carrying that same message?
Yeah, well, two members that are gone now. I know Huckabee and Rick Santorum both opposed it. Trump has answered my questions, and he clearly opposes it and been against it. Cruz has opposed it and says he'll vote against it. But I don't. The others, I think, have been silent. And I got to tell you, if they won't say they oppose this, they're more likely to be for it. I just have to say. My friend Marco has said there were three principles of his foreign policy, and one of them was the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So we have a pretty big disagreement on that issue.
That's for sure. I want to, speaking of the politics here of, we're talking about the presidential race, but also to bring it back home, because those same issues you're talking about have been discussed a whole bunch in campaigning here in AL1, where Congressman Bradley Byrne is running for office again, being opposed by Dean Young. And in Dean Young ads, I've got to ask you, Senator, it sounds like that Dean Young is it? Are you tacitly endorsing him or specifically endorsing him that he stands with you on these measures? What are we to make of that? I
really don't know Dean Young well, or I just don't know the man at all, really. But I'm a big fan of Bradley's. We're good friends. We vote similarly on key issues, and I think he's a good congressman. It would be a mistake for anybody to say I've endorsed Dean Young in this race. I support Bradley, really. And people will make up their own minds. I'm not here to tell people how to vote, but I have heard people asking me from these advertisements, have you endorsed Young? And that's not true. So
we'll clear that up right now. There is not an endorsement because your name is in those ads a whole bunch, but
well, that's what I hear.
Yes.
No, I absolutely have not endorsed Mr. Young in that race.
And you said on the key issues there, Bradley's voting like Jeff Sessions makes Jeff Sessions smile.
Well, yeah, we're good friends. We work together. I'm sure we don't vote on every issue alike, and sometimes it's when you're in the House and in the Senate, there are different situations. But I think Bradley works hard every day. He knows our district exceedingly well. He's very smart. He's got good judgment, and so I just think it's wrong to suggest that he somehow opposes all the things I believe in.
Senator Sessions
may not agree with everything I believe, and I've been known to make an error myself.
I'm not buying that. I don't believe that. Senator Sessions is always a real treat to talk with you, and you're missing out. 72 and sunny here back home. You could be down here and enjoying the boat show this weekend.
That would be great. I'm in Birmingham and been doing some stuff up here, visiting grandchildren, and we're going back today. I want to attend Justice Scalia's funeral tomorrow, and it's a big, it's a special day, a sad day, but I really feel like I want to be there for that.
Well, I'm glad you're paying your respects and the respects of all of us back here in Alabama. Senator Jeff Sessions, thanks for your time. We will talk soon.
Thank you, Sean.
Coming right back, more of Midday Mobile on FM Talk 106.5. Alex Pappas from the Daily Caller is going to join us as well. All coming up.